Well, I wanted to talk just a little bit about, life. Life is, I don't know about you, but May feels like December to me. Maybe it's because I have a graduate this year. I have a daughter graduating high school, but Mother's Day is around the corner and everything's going on. But you know what? I still have dreams to chase. I still have a business to run. I still have things in my life that I have to take care of in the midst of all of that. So I wanted to talk to you for just a moment about a couple of those things. I'm reminded of one of my favorite quotes by Miles Monroe, and it says, "You can have what you can manage." And I love that. And so for us ladies, I want to say you can have what you can manage. And if you feel like things are out of order and they're in chaos and all of those things, then maybe you don't need anything else to manage. But I don't know about you, but there's something on the inside of me that rises up when I hear that, that makes me decide I'm going to be a good manager of the things that God has given me. I'm going to steward well those things because I want more. I don't want to be like the person when they came back and asked, "What'd you do with the talent?" "I buried it because I was scared," or "I buried it because I was overwhelmed." No, no, no. I want to utilize and take all of the things that God has given me so that He can add to those things so that I can live the life that He's called me to live. And so I'm taking this class right now, and it's talking about habits and consistency and all the things that we want as women. And I've been taking this class, and one of the things that I've utilized and learned was every Sunday night to dump everything that's on your plate out onto a piece of paper. I don't know if you ladies do that or not, but it is so freeing because there's something about having it all up here, and you can do it on your phone, you can do it on a piece of paper. But one of the things that they taught me was to do a side that says personal and a side that says business. So in the back of your mind, you got to take that dress back that was way too big for you that you bought at TJ Maxx, right? Put that on that side. You need to go pay the water bill. You've got to work on a couple of those journey kickoff calls. Take all of those things that are going on in the back of your mind and write all of those things down on Sunday night. Just get them out so that you can assign a day to them throughout the week. So that way you are not, because I don't know about you, but if I have too many things going on, I feel overwhelmed. And it reminds me of a story that I heard on a podcast that I listened to. And it said this: "What is the most important thing the lion tamer takes into the ring?" I don't know about you, but I'm not going into the ring with the lion. But for those lion tamers that do go in, the most important thing he takes into the ring is not a gun. It's not even the little whip that he carries, but it's this little three-legged stool. And the reason why it's so important is because he puts this three-legged stool in front of the lion's face and he begins to move it around. And the lion becomes so mesmerized trying to follow all three of the things, all three of the legs of the stool, that this paralysis comes over him. And then that lion that could definitely take out the little lion tamer becomes paralyzed and he does nothing. I know you've seen those little memes that say, "I have so much to do, so this is what I'm doing." And they're just sitting there doing nothing. And that's how we feel sometimes. Our mind and our ability to be able to take care of all the things that need to be taken care of becomes paralyzed when there are too many things going on. So I want to encourage you. These are a few practical things to do. Dump all those things out. You'll feel so much freer. You'll let go of all that baggage that Karen just spoke to us about and begin to schedule it. And so let's talk kids for a minute. The other morning, one of my daughters came into church and I noticed that on her pants leg, she did not iron the pants. Obviously, they were all wrinkled up. And I looked over there at her and I said, "You could have ironed your pants, You are here at church." And she was like, "Mom, I can't be perfect every day." And that's kind of become our little running joke when something is not going on real well with her. She was like, "Mom, I can only be perfect some days. I can't be perfect every day." So I want to remind you, ladies, you cannot be perfect every day, and that's okay. But you can be authentic every day. And so that's what I want to encourage you. When you show up on social media, when you show up in life, you can't be perfect every day, but you can be authentic every day. And so I have a coach this week, and she is just, for the last year has just had some struggles go on, and she's gained all of her weight back. But she texted me this week and said, I need to make a post and I need to just have some accountability because I need help in my life. And she was just so vulnerable. I was so proud of her. And do you know the response that she got from an imperfect post about an authentic subject in her life? People are already calling her and saying, I want to do it with you because she's showing up authentically. You can't be perfect every day, but you can be authentic every day. And it reminds me, I had this little garden party this week for Mother's Day for the women in our church, and I had the tables looking incredible. They looked almost perfect. I had all of the balloon arches. I had all of the florals and all of the food, and it just looked amazing. And I went over to open up one of the closets in our house, and we have these 22 feet ceilings. And I opened up the closet, and last week it was my son's birthday, and one of my daughters had gotten him this huge birthday balloon that said happy birthday. And I opened up the cabinet, and all of a sudden that birthday balloon comes flying out, goes up, and I'm like, here I have spent all this time making sure that things look perfect right before the party, and there's this big happy birthday balloon floating around. Things can't be perfect all the time, but you can be authentic. So show up as your authentic self. You know, I never want my children to see a post on social media or hear me having a conversation with someone and think, Mom's faking it, or think that's not authentic. Now, it may not be perfect, but it needs to be authentic. And so that's what I really try to invest in them. And one of the things that I heard on this mentoring class, and it said this, we all talk about that scripture about inheritance. How many of you put a 1 in the chat if you want to leave an inheritance to your children? I know I do. That's one of my big whys. But this is what it said as I close. It said, inheritance is what you leave to someone, but legacy is what you leave in someone. And that just changed everything for me. I thought, yes, I do want to leave inheritance for my kids, but I never want to leave kids who don't know how to steward the inheritance that they've been given. And so I want to encourage you today, ladies, that you don't have to be perfect every day, but you do need to be authentic every day. Thanks so much for letting me share.